to start with introducing the cone to the jump. So before that, this is where I kind of had introduced some exercises before, where if I have like the spin kind of behavior and the twirl, that's going to get my dog a good foundation because that's the same pattern they're basically doing. And then I take my cone out alone. And again, I'm always kind of letting my dog go around the cone, and I don't want them cutting in front of me for the purpose of this exercise. So if I take a cookie, I tend to be pretty right hand dominant, but you can use either as long as it's not crazy, but try to use your onside hand. Okay? And that's when I get my nice lure around, and then that eventually gets faded to be able to do that with just a small hand gesture. And then I should be able to just go rap, 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 search. And Latrine lands on her head. So I've kind of added each step essentially for the verbal cue. What we did a lot of was say our verbal, then give our cue to go around. And then essentially the dog associates the verbal with what's following it, what comes next, because they're really great anticipators. So now all I'm going to do is take my cone and put it to the jump. I can take the jump bar off if that's going to be too big of a distractor. I don't think it will for her, and also I know she knows this behavior. So then I can now do the same thing. Good job, search. And so I'm kind of just using my hands to start this behavior. Yeah, okay, I'll take that. The same way I did the cone, because again, I'm not making assumptions at this point that she knows the behavior. I've just introduced it. She's just done 2 reps. There's nothing that says I know it. So this is kind of the part where I'd like to get in the first training session of just having a dog who will do a couple nice wraps, good job, around the wing with the cone. The other thing I can do is use my reward placement for this. Reward placement is probably one of the best things you can do for your training with your wraps. So I want to put my rewards where I want the dog to go. So if I had a dog who's saying that last repetition, she's kind of stopping in this middle part there. Where do I want to go? I want to go on the other side. That's where I should put my reward. So let's do a repetition like that. You're very excited. Yeah, and so you see that little hesitation? And then I put the cookie there. If we had kept doing more repetitions, sorry, I just, yes. So if we had kept doing more repetitions, you see that second one already? She's already like, where's my next cookie? So now that we have a dog who understands how to go around the wing of the jump, and that this is kind of a wrapping behavior around the wing, thank you for so generously offering these behaviors. We only get cookies when I ask you to do it. Okay? So now we're going to kind of take this behavior, and you can choose to put it on a word if you're ready. You do not have to put it on a word. We can stick with physical cues for today if you would like. Okay? So the wrap was really just to create a tight behavior around this. So Rose, wrap, 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 wrap. So if she has to do the second wrap around, so let me try that again. Wrap, 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 wrap. You can see that her landing path is nice and tight here for the second wrap. That's why we're doing 2 or more wraps, is to get that nice and tight. So now what I can start to do is take away that second wrap, so that way we can do it more in an agility fashion. In this case, we'll be adding another jump. So what's going to happen is I'm going to do the wrap on the first jump. If it is nice and tight, I'm going to do a wrap on the second jump. Okay? If it's not really nice and tight, it's not the wrap of my dreams, I'm just going to ask her to do another wrap. That was the cue for that, I will admit. So, wrap, 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 wrap. Okay, see how the second one's tighter? This is how I start to work that collection in there. Wrap, 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 wrap. Ah, pretty. Okay, now we're going to do a similar exercise to the previous one, but with the jumps in a different orientation. So in the previous orientation, The dog came at this jump kind of from this straight on angle, was able to wrap it nicely. Because this jump was straight in front of us, they came at basically the same angle to do that now, okay? All we're doing is they're gonna be wrapping the same wing, okay? This wing is virtually in the same position as it was before, but now the location of the bar is different, okay? I want you to think about your wrap as if you're wrapping it from this front side, and then we're gonna go off and take a jump off yonder in the distance, okay? So, same rules apply as before. I want my dog, Rose, my dog, okay, yes. To take a nice jump, and then to take a nice jump over that way. If you can get some multi-wraps in and it seems right, it feels right, and the mood's right, you can do that. Especially on a jump like the second one, where we might be, more prone to making a wide turn on the second jump because we're coming out of all of this extension. Now we're going to want to use that second wrap around to tighten it up and be like, no, 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 no. We were collecting. And as they get the time to A, understand that behavior, and B, the physical ability to back up what they want to do, because that's hard, then that's how we're going to see that behavior grow and to be perfect on the first time. Because if they land thinking that they're going to go around again, they're probably going to be a lot tighter than if they were landing like, oh, I don't know where we're going, maybe we're going wherever. Okay? So one more time. We're going to do some wraps here. Yes! Some wraps. Oh, didn't love that, so we're going to redo it. Some wraps there. Yes! Give the cookie where I want. Wraps here. Wraps here. Good. Oh, yeah, you're even looking. Yeah. She's like, I know where this cookie is coming from. And then wraps on up. Any questions?